Don't whisper off mic. It doesn't help anything.
But why am I doing it?
I don't know.
Don't whisper.
Don't whisper.
Susan sends her condolences, but also will be sending a Vermont teddy bear. Is that what you're supposed to say?
That's it. The dead bear.
Oh, see, I joke, but you took it. You took it too far. I had some respect.
He's just hibernating.
That is a great idea. Yeah. Next time a loved one passes on, what says I feel bad more than the Vermont teddy bear?
He's just hibernating.
He's just hibernating. Because you know what people like? They love senses of humor.
They love tangible puns they can hold.
Yes. Especially after a tragedy.
Yes.
That's a great idea. That's the business we should. That's the kind of merch we should be making.
Absolutely, we should.
Condolences. I'm sorry you listened to our show. Hey, Josh, if I was the kind of person who would ruin the show early, I would mention that I've never seen the outside area lit up like this.
Huh.
And then, like always, it wouldn't help us. They can't see it. You have nothing to add to it, and it's another failure.
Yeah.
Why? How about this way? Hey, I noticed the light's on. What's up with that?
Exactly what I've been dealing with the entire last week, right there. My mother-in-law has been staying here since the last show until yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And
I actually brought up something that relates.
Yes, you brought up a minuscule judgmental observation.
What's the judgmental observation? Is the lights on?
Yeah.
That's not judgmental. That's more like a
what's up
prying,
with that?
Well, it's a prying eyes thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like prying. What's going on?
Right.
How come I haven't been told?
Yeah, it's never like scolding, but it's always like
it's creepy. I'm not.
Why do you do that?
Yeah, it's creepy. Yeah. I don't even know sometimes why I'm creepy.
So, but fortunately, you're not an 87-year-old Irish woman.
That is, as far as you know. Wait till I do my hypnosis, where I believe that I'm Bri. Have I done this before? I'm Bridie Murphy. Bridie Murphy. Do you know what I'm going for?
No.
Okay, Bridie Murphy.
But Bridie Carney is actually my wife's aunt's name.
Really?
In Dublin, yes.
Well, Bridie, this sounds like these are kind of fake Irish names you're coming up with now.
No, it's real.
From Corn.
Yeah, you this bit.
No, Bridie Murphy.
This bit is fanning out like a peacock.
No, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. When I was a kid, I was interested in a couple of years in hypnosis.
Okay.
Couldn't do it. Never was able to. I would go like this, and nobody. I think I went like this with a pocket watch.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
A lot of kids went through that.
Yeah, you're getting sleepy.
Sure.
Josh, you're getting sleepy? You're getting sleepy? And now you're dead asleep.
Right.
And when you wake up?
The Gilligan's Island School of Hypnosis.
And there was a famous thing where a woman was hypnotized, and she said, "I'm Bridie Murphy. I'm Bridie," and she started to recall this Irish woman who lived in the 1850s.
Okay.
And the reason why now, and you want to know, how am I going to shoehorn this into dropping a name? And
bigger than Bridie Murphy?
Yes. I'm friends with Bridie Elliott, who is the daughter of Chris Elliott. Okay. And one of the first times I met her, I said, "Are you named after Bridie Murphy?" And she was.
Wow.
Because it was like a popular thing it was like a popular thing at the time amongst the hypnotic. I mean, it was kind of funny. I'm sure Chris Elliott.
What was the source of it, though?
It was a woman. She was hypnotized.
But where?
Like somewhere in America.
But was this on TV?
No. This was all revealed in a book later on that came out that was probably completely bogus too.
Okay.
But the reason why they said it was real when it first came out was because they were saying, how could she know these details about an Irish woman in the 1850s? Now, it may be that she wasn't doing this on purpose or whatever.
Right.
And maybe she is Bridie Murphy.
Maybe. I think there's a certain thing. Like, I remember back at camp.
Oh, well, talk about dropping.
My friend thought he could do hypnosis, and he maybe could. He maybe could because I allowed him to hypnotize me. And the thing about hypnosis is there's always willingness.
to go along.
Yeah.
Right.
It's sort of it's your resistance that gets lowered, you know.
That's why the Germans were big in...
So, honest to God, I don't know if I was hypnotized or just really committed to the bit.
Well, that's what they always say on these stage things. I don't know what the truth is.
Right.
What do you think the truth was?
I think it's a little column A, a little column B.
So in other words, you didn't go out. You didn't go out.
Didn't go out per se.
Right.
I mean, I think I maybe pretended to go out. I don't think I actually went out. But, you know, like I said, I think a little column A, a little column B. But I was able to do, you know, I was so committed to things that wouldn't have been my normal personality.
Like you put your hand on a hot stove?
Like being able to flow with details on things.
Wow.
That, you know.
So you were probably, I don't know what that means even.
I don't know. I was a little under maybe.
What if you were actually under completely and your thought that you weren't under is actually wrong?
Well, I think some of that happens when you're under hypnosis. I don't think your actual consciousness goes away when it is just quieting that voice down going, no, I'm going with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, because I'm not capable of total abandon, as we know. So.
You always have a slight attachment.
One toe
to control.
Always stays on the control button.
So if I was to just kind of fall into the mic and go, my name is Whitey. I can't even come up with a good historical name. But the thing about hypnosis that is amazing, the guy went on Letterman once, was unbelievable. That I totally believed, because unless Biff Henderson is the greatest actor I've ever seen, because Biff Henderson was...
Biff's a pretty good actor.
He was. But he got a post-hypnotic thing from this guy, and he on the phone with him, and you see Biff falling asleep all of a sudden.
Right.
And then the guy who worked for Letterman, one of the producers... They convinced him to get angry about how much Letterman was making, and that was pretty hilarious.
Right.
So I still don't know.
Well, I remember there was my friend Barry did that put a post-hypnotic suggestion in, and then it came up in conversation. I remember like catching him saying it and going, "Hey, that's my suggestion," and then sort of pretending to fall against the wall and stay there. But I committed to it. I stay there until he had sort of walked ahead, and then he came back. But I was also very consciously fucking with him, you know. So,
yeah.
But I stayed very committed and very stiff in this position that I did, you know. But again, you
also
know, so
weird. It's also
the
weird.
Commitment is what I feel like I really got from the post-hypnotic suggestion. But
also
I could have not done it very easily too.
Right. You know? But that's the thing is
it was camp, you know.
Now, how old were you?
13, 12.
And do you think that did he go on to be a stage hypnotist?
No.
Who does?
Exactly.
It's not a field that you go into because of the opportunities.
One of my parents' friends was a stage hypnotist when I was growing up. I didn't know him that well, but he was pretty much a jackass.
Was he really?
Yeah.
He was a stage hypnotist?
He was like the ex-husband of a friend, you know.
Oh. It sounds creepy.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to have in the orbit, even.
Did he hypnotize you for fun or no?
No, I was never hypnotized by him.
Right. Are you hypnotized by my looks?
Your charm, more than your looks.
Hey, so that is what we call in Thought Spiral land.
The cold open.
Cold open. Yeah. It's a cold open. Good evening. Welcome to Thought Spiral. I'm your host, Andy Kindler, and because people wrote letters in and they said they liked it when I say, we're back with more. They like that.
Yeah, okay.
Now, I can't say that...
I'm not sure I'm the host, Andy Kindler, so much. I don't...
Oh, is that what I said?
Yeah.
I'm so self-involved and narcissistic, I don't even realize when I'm cutting you out emotionally. I'm your host, Andy Kindler.
I am your host.
65 degrees downtown Los Angeles, a couple of half hour. We'll be giving away some Aerosmith tickets. You've ever heard me do the full version of that? It's co-written by Gruber. I'll be down at TJ Cranberry.
We started the last show.
I don't care. It gets better and better.
I do care. I do care.
Okay, can I do one shout out and then I'll never do it again until the next time?
Sure.
I want to shout out to Mike and Kendra, who are listeners in New York, and I'm hoping that this shout out will embarrass them somehow. Huh? They don't want to be called attention to, but they're listeners in New York, and I know them and there's also a familial connection.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna get into it.
It's not cousin Mike and Kendra.
I have a cousin Mike.
Yeah?
What are the odds of that happening?
At least 30.
But I do these shout outs not like you do for money. I do the shout outs because I care about people.
Yeah.
This guy for $25, right?
Well, I'm working for Jen Kirkman this weekend. So.
Oh, Jen Kirkman?
Jen Kirkman.
Oh, are you doing the Jen Kirkman show?
I am.
Wait a second.
Yes, you have a show this Friday, and it's not with Jen Kirkman.
Holy moly. I have to go down to Huntington Beach.
Yes, you do.
I haven't even advertised that goddamn show. Who's going to come down and see me? Is this coming out before it?
No.
Oh my God. I have to drive down to Huntington Beach on Friday.
Yes, you do.
And I have to leave early. You don't want to leave late for that?
No.
The first show's at 7:30.
Oh, that's perfect.
Ask me how you get to Huntington Beach by 7:30.
Panic?
Practice. Panic. Oh my God. So let me put down, promote the rec room. Promote the rec room. So if you can have a time machine, what'd you think of my show? Or something like that.
If you can have a time machine, go back to Friday and go, I'm not going to Huntington Beach on a Friday night.
No, but then supposedly I'm going to have people who live there.
You'd hope. Because if it's just a commuter bringer gig, you're screwed.
I'm getting paid.
Either way, I hope.
Well, I get a guarantee, but my guarantees are very low.
Oh, ouch.
It's always against a scenario that can't happen. Against 80% of the door.
We guarantee we'll leave the PA on. That's your guarantee. Through the whole show.
I had a Shore vocal master PA. Something like that. I'm getting the name wrong.
Yeah. That sounds like a PA system.
Shore.
Yeah.
You've heard of them.
That's a thing. We're talking into them right now.
And this is how it, also how I started my years of debt was by buying these when I was a working musician, in cover bands.
Yeah.
Instead of telling myself, Andy, you hate yourself on some deep level, why don't you deal with that?
You'd buy musical gear.
I bought musical gear.
Yes, I know that feeling.
I bought the Tascam 244, 4-track cassette, studio that was $1,000.
Yeah.
Back in 1980 something.
Right. That made you feel better, right?
And did not work for me.
But the day you bought it, you felt good about what you were going to do for yourself.
When what?
The day you bought that.
No, even the day I bought it, I had that nagging. This. I knew when I was getting into credit trouble early in my life that it was going to be bad.
Credit is a different thing. But
it started with a Firestone card.
I was going more on the, hey, I'm putting a bet on myself, man.
Well, look, if you buy a new guitar or if you get a new strings or anything like that.
And yes, by the way, it did start with a Firestone card for me, too.
It did, getting into debt?
Yeah, because they make it so easy because, you're fucked.
I don't think there's anybody
and then
they
suddenly
turn
you've
down.
got a credit rating. Yeah.
And then they always found things in my car that were not problems before. I'm not saying all the Firestone.
I actually had a good Firestone. I was very happy for several years with my local
well,
Firestone.
then your money was well spent. I poured money into a 1972 Ford Country Squire station wagon, which sounds like a joke, but it was the car I drove.
It's a hilarious car
with wood paneling on the sides.
Just that anyone would find the phrase "Country Squire" at all appealing. I know you bought it used, of course. I'm just talking about the original off the line.
72.
The original off the line marketing plan for Country Squire. That someone would identify with that in any way.
This was a friend of my sister's. Now I remember it.
Was it green with wood?
No.
That's what I think.
People were green with envy. There was brown in it. And the best part of the thing was that the back window that went down broke about 2 minutes after I had the car. It was a friend of my sister's who sold it. She didn't even want to get rid of it. She loved the car so much.
Sure.
I mean, I love this car. I hate to give it to you for this. And then it wasn't a good car, if you were wondering how good it was. And it got rained in there.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough money to fix the electronic. That's why for years I would never buy anything without a hand crank.
Right.
Even my, it'll be a funny joke.
Hand crank? Wasn't a funny
How
joke.
do you do it? No, it is a funny. No, it is. It is because it's right in the moment. It's like that cinematic Titanic type of thing you've been talking about.
Yeah.
So welcome to the show. I'm the host. I'm sorry. I'm the co-host, and I hate co-host too.
You don't have to say either, but I'm just saying you can't just go with I'm the host and leave it at that.
Oh, I'm pleasantly surprised that you showed up for my podcast. I'm living in a dream world where I think that the truth isn't the truth. I just want to tell you, I'm starting to get excited about the podcast now. A year, how much in?
A year and change.
I'm starting to become emotionally invested in it.
Well, that's good.
And do you see?
Soon you'll become intellectually invested, and we might have something.
Somewhat intellectually?
Yeah.
Are you saying I'm not good on the show?
No.
Then I missed the joke. What is the joke?
It doesn't matter. A couple more episodes, you'll understand it.
What? You have a surprise planned? But did you see me? How many? I think I responded to like 7 or 8 letters.
You did.
Like a madman. 2 of them angrily, which I'm very happy about.
And I sent one of them.
You what?
I sent one of the angry responses. I haven't sent the other one yet.
Right. Would you actually make the decision? I'm not going to send this. You could.
I could. I'm good. It's a little bit vehement in a way that's unnecessary.
All right, then take it out. Take it out.
When it ends with good and riddance, I don't feel like that's good customer service.
Yeah, I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy. No, it's not a guy. I think it's a woman. I don't really know, but I definitely was not trying to extend the relationship.
No, I know, but
don't respond.
I'm calling a Woody Allen ban.
Why can't you do that? I don't think you can do that.
No, I can.
No, I don't think you can.
I can. I totally can.
You can't do that.
Yes, I can.
You can't do it, but I don't have to follow it.
No, of course not. But
then why are you calling?
I can behave accordingly.
Why are you calling Woody Allen ban?
Because it's a bad argument.
My argument?
No, I mean it's the whole issue.
Oh, the whole argument is
because
bad argument.
Your vehemence. Here's my issue with your vehemence. I don't care about your position, but the fierceness with which you are defending a dude who isn't in jail, hasn't had his career ended. He just has scorn. There's just some people who scorn him.
If that happened to you and you hadn't done it, it would not. Believe me, it has ruined most of his. He seems to be a very strange, almost like on a different planet as a person, kind of. So maybe it doesn't affect him.
Yeah.
But they tried to ruin his career with it.
But the issue's been around for 15 years, and he's made 15 movies in those 15 years.
Yeah, but I'm not upset about it for him. I'm upset about it because of what it says about our society.
Okay.
And that's something I have to get over at some point.
Well, you can get over it right now.
But the problem is, if you say a ban, I'm not agreeing to the ban.
No, I know. It was more of a theoretical ban. I was not like I have the power to ban anything. I mean, I have the power to edit shit out, but I don't have the power to ban it.
That actually is more powerful, maybe.
It is, actually.
You don't have to send that email back to that person, and you don't have to keep in anything you want. All right, look, I will never again talk about, you know what I would like to talk about? Woody Allen's hilarious books. I'm sorry. I never liked them that much.
I kind of enjoyed his
Getting
books.
Even and all that
in
stuff.
In high school, I enjoyed his books.
Yeah, is that right? Yeah. He would write an occasional article for the New Yorker.
But, the books kind of rode the clever, funny line.
Like sign language. Did you read that book? I did not read it, but it's sign language. And apparently he actually says, why do they always say, go back to square one? They never say go back to oval 4. Now, I hope that it's not in there. I hope that I've made it up as a Seinfeld.
That is like an Adomian Kindler joke.
That's right. It is. and it's scathing in a way. And it's what happens when you decide that you want to write, but you don't have anything to write about. And that's why I have big fear about why I haven't written anything. Because I don't want it to be bad, so let me continue not doing anything.
Sure, I think that's why everyone stops.
But I've turned the corner on the podcast. I am ready to promote with zeal. I don't know what I'm ready for. I'm ready, but it's a confluence of events in my life now. I'm actually starting to return emails, calls, texts.
I'm getting hypnotized by your hand.
That was good. I'm getting better as a person. No thanks to you. Why do I have to make anything positive negative?
Don't you think I've had some positive effect
Very
on
positive.
you? Talking for about a month of the last year has been spent talking to me.
And you're the go-to person in my therapy.
There you go.
And she's like,
Does she ever talk shit about me?
No, but she never that's not her style, really. But what she does do, which I think therapists do, is she is very empathetic.
Oh, that's good.
So when I talk about, when I was a kid and I was 3 years, how old are you when you can walk around, but you probably shouldn't be? Like 3?
Yeah, 2 to 3.
I got lost at Jones Beach.
Okay.
Which is the worst beach in the world. People who like it, there's something wrong with them. It's in Queens, first of all.
And it's just wall-to-wall people.
It's wall-to-wall people. You have to park 3 miles away from the beach.
Yeah.
And then you have to walk down to the beach. And I got lost about 7 feet from my parents.
Okay.
And I remember to this day wailing like my life was over. I was abandoned. And the lifeguard held me up like this. And then my parents spied me. I mean, they weren't really looking. They spied me out of the corner of their eye.
When they did the Lion King with you.
And then they thought it would be a hilarious joke. I don't even know what that reference means.
The Lion King.
Is it from an animated thing or is it a movie?
It's both. It's an animated movie
from Disney's
and a Broadway hit play.
Oh, you didn't go to the Broadway play?
I did actually.
Oh, no, I certainly was wrong there. So, I know what it's like, and I'm dealing with it in therapy. I know what it's like to feel that you're abandoned. And that's why I've been enraged about this thing. I know I know you have another rule: no politics on the show. Why do I want to make you into like a stern headmistress?
I don't know. You're just looking for someone whose face wants to tell you you're horrible.
But I mean, this was beyond this thing that's happened the last few days with them ripping babies from their mothers is Nazi level. Hitlerian level, or the beginning of Hitlerian level. Some of those kids will never recover from that. Some of those kids aren't even reunited back with their parents again.
Right.
Why are you so in favor of it?
I'm still laughing over the Jones Beach thing.
Oh, Andy, don't get me wrong. I was just thinking more about the Jones Beach thing.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
No, I mean, I totally agree. And you were separated for what, 2 minutes?
I was separated even maybe for 45 seconds.
Yeah.
You know? Right.
And it's been 60 years.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I had other
I assume there's other streams feeding the river of abandonment fear.
Well, I'll just give you a little clue because my whole thing was I'm not going to go after my parents until they're both dead. That was my theory going in.
Yeah.
Although I've gone after I've done delightful things about my mother and father.
Sure.
But
I will say, as an adult orphan, there's a certain freedom.
What does that mean?
I mean, when your parents are dead, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Oh, but my mom's alive, though.
That's what I'm saying. My point is, I understand your reticence.
Yes. Yes. Right.
And I will tell you that the other side, at least that's one of the little things in the pro column. Not a lot of things in the pro column on the dead mom, but that one.
Well, I asked my therapist if it was okay that I was thinking if my can't even say it. That I said I actually had the thought, well, if my mom dies in the next couple of years, I'll get some money, but if not, there'll be no money there.
Right.
Now, she says that everybody has these thoughts and that there's nothing wrong with the thoughts.
Right.
I don't allow myself to have that thought. I say I'm a terrible human being.
No, and I think I think having those thoughts, noting you're having those thoughts, totally legit.
Right.
Podcasting those thoughts. That's a whole different thing. No, I'm kidding.
No, but you know what though?
I'm totally kidding.
It is an issue.
But
I do want to.
But here's the thing. But I totally get that. I mean, I just went through this whole experience with the 4-month hospice thing.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that.
Everyone involved at some point is going, "Where's he going to go?"
Right.
And feeling terrible that they're feeling that because,
of course.
Yeah. But, but we had to sort of articulate that to each other that both, yes, I've thought that too. And yes, I felt bad about it, but, that's, that thought's going to pass through.
Yeah. I think if you don't have the core belief that there's something wrong with you, then most of those thoughts just pass through most people's minds.
And I'm a huge, I come from a fucking really nice people who were fucking mean ass people.
Really?
And I think that's how I am. It's like, I'm a very nice person, but I have all the mean fucking thoughts in my head, I just don't express them, and I go, okay, woo, that's mean, or, but I think everybody, my point, I guess, is that, I think both my parents were just tremendous human beings, but they also, could talk shit about just about anybody.
Oh, then they would be with my parents.
But they wouldn't talk shit inappropriately. They would talk shit in a safe space to talk shit,
Did you leave family? Here's what we would do that actually formed the basis of both my comedy and my judgmental hate of myself. We would leave any family gathering, and we would talk the whole trip home.
Oh, God, yeah.
Can you believe it?
It's the only fun part of a family gathering and that was my family, was we would get to use all the lines we didn't say at the time.
In the car.
In the car, or at our, in our case, it was usually at our house, or often at our house, so it was after they left or whatever. But yeah, so everyone would get a chance to say the really funny line that they would have said if it was inappropriate and test it out.
That makes me feel better, because I thought it was like my family was so sick.
Well, it's a Jewy thing, I think.
It's a very Jewy.
Because I think, like, both my brother's wives, both sort of came into our family and were like, once they were in, they got to be a part of this thing, and they were just like wide jawed.
And how intense it would be.
Yeah, and how fucking,
I would be
and how much shit we would talk about these people that we seem to be being so nice to just an hour ago.
I would be surprised too, because I always felt like were never as judgmental as me, and
no, my parents were incredibly judgmental.
But you're not as much, though.
I think I am. I'm just nice as well.
Yeah.
And so were they.
Right.
I just it's part of how I entertain myself.
Well, I'll tell you one story that won't indict anybody. We were driving back from one of my aunts.
I'm also really compassionate in my head. I also will forgive. Create empathy in my head for people as well.
Well, that's important.
It talks me out of being angry at people a lot of the time. Is I just go, ugh. I'm glad I don't have to deal with what that frickin' person has to deal with.
That's a healthy thing, because what I would do is not try to stop myself from having the thoughts and just be obsessed with whether the person heard me in the car from Queens.
Yeah.
Or so it all got into until I went to therapy. It was all black and white to me.
Right.
Everything was black, and that's what gave me I think I've talked about this. The big problem with doing the speech in Montreal was that feeling like I have to justify every one of these jokes, and they have to be bad people. I'm doing, it's like it's ridiculous in a way. It's amazing. I did that speech in a way, having all these, not wanting people to know how judgmental I am and not being able to stop it.
It's incredibly amazing to me that that's part of who you've made yourself is. Publicly insulting people, where there's no way around hurting some people's feelings.
There's no way around it.
Yeah. And I'm sure it was some sort of self-therapy in some way.
Well,
it was, it's sort of like skydiving almost, where it's like, okay, this is one of the things I'm most afraid of, is people being mad at me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to fucking torch the fucking place.
Well, I say the same thing about stand-up, because I hated myself, and I didn't realize I hated myself until I go into therapy. I mean, I knew I could hate myself, but I wouldn't say that to myself. So, not saying it to myself, I didn't know that was the base of all these different feelings about myself. It was hate about not liking myself.
Like self-loathing was
self-loathing.
Yeah, was at the core of everything.
Was at the core of it.
Is that at the core of everything?
Well, it's certainly. And I was going to say. The thing being, I was so scared when I was on stage. I hate it. I hate even now when I don't get a laugh.
Right.
It's like you think after 30 years I would go, all right, this one, this guy's maybe choking on an olive, or there's two people in the room. So I have never gotten over being afraid of people's judgment, and yet I did stand up knowing that. So I'm pretty proud of myself for that.
Yeah, and I think every stand-up.
That's got to be.
I think that's the pocket every stand-up lives in,
Yeah.
Because there's all, it's the only thing that causes panic-like feelings. Even is, oh shit, that 1 millisecond after a joke is dropped and it didn't work.
Right.
You know, where you're already on to what the fuck is next joke, while you feel that silence, which feels like a long one and probably isn't.
And that was always the thing for me, was like, I know I sabotaged myself early on, and maybe even to this day, by commenting every time it doesn't work.
Right.
But then it also became...
It buys you time.
It also became the thing I most like doing, which is deconstructing in general. Not the most like doing, but being able to talk outside of the jokes.
Right. Well, it's the only thing that really makes up for your jokes.
I saw that comment. I saw that because it's just a casual delivery on it. Well, of course, that, and so is the audience thinking that during the act. But I don't think I have self-loathing like Janine Garofalo named her production company. I Hate Myself Productions.
Right.
And I've been around Janine, who I love, but she definitely is angrier at herself than I'm angry at myself. So
right. You find yourself charming more than Janine Garofalo finds herself charming.
She's, probably. I'm sure, harder on herself than I am on me, although I'm sure in certain areas.
Well, you make up for it with like completely unwarranted praise for yourself over things.
Like, what did I do? Oh, for what was the example?
Well, like the I'm on time party. Unbelievable.
Yes. I was so surprised. I'm surprised you didn't have a bigger reaction to it. 902.
No, it was great.
Beating
I high-fived you, Andy.
I know you did. Actually, I find it very endearing that how much that you not endearing.
What's wrong with endearing?
Okay, endearing, empathetic over how much you enjoy that. I enjoyed being on, relatively on time.
Yeah, when I heard the knock, I was like, he's going to be beaming.
Oh, beaming, and the thing is, it's a struggle. I really feel like I am actually getting better, not just through the podcast, although we do say that it will cure skin conditions, but I'm working my stuff out in my life from the beginning of this podcast, I think. I'm trying to think if I hit rock bottom.
You were already in therapy when we started, but it was early in the...
Yeah, and so it was very soon after I hit my version of rock bottom, which was just... why is that on Twitter? What is that on Twitter? Should I go on Twitter? What, this guy's on Twitter?
No, I think you hit Twitter bottom on the show.
What's that?
I think you hit Twitter bottom on the show.
Well, that's right. And I also examined all those things.
Yeah, you did. It was good.
You haven't grown, though. I haven't felt.
I have not.
When are you going to take things to the next level like I have?
I do useless impressions that I didn't do when we started.
And we're getting requests. A lot of these letters are people wanting to more of certain things that I haven't. They when they say
it's never two of the same thing. Isn't that weird though? Like how many like people will say their favorite thing about the show, and it's almost always a different thing.
This is what's gone to my head.
There's no unanimity among the things.
Well, that's what's gone to my head.
Yeah.
I've gone from this better be the thing that pays off.
Yeah.
From a couple weeks ago, where I was like, "Well, hey, man, hey." What's wrong with my commitment to anything?
Well, where are we going this week? In terms of promotion,
we're going on to the Mark Maron program.
Yes,
and promoting the Thought Spiral.
Yes,
and
thanks to Alex.
Thanks to Alex
Brazel putting that together.
And that's another thing too, is that Alex is much better at doing things. That is why I could never do his job.
Right.
Because he'll just run it by with whoever he wants to run it by.
Right.
And that's good.
He's not paralyzed by shame like us.
I am. But you're not paralyzed.
Well, I'm a little bit. I'm not so good at the requests.
You're not so good at that.
I don't ask people for things well.
Right.
Which is how I end up making things myself.
Wow. Man, what an opening. I'll tell you, this opening.
Is this still the opening?
Yeah, I think so. Well, we're like 30 minutes in, and this is like, we could end the show now. People would be, thank you. Well, that wouldn't be good. I love, my favorite thing though, and I know I'll beat it to death, but I just love that people, take time out, they look forward to it coming out. And I don't even care if it's Hitler. If Hitler wrote me a letter
it's nice.
saying, I enjoyed.
And we've gotten the last few shows, we've gotten smatterings, like more than before, we've gotten smatterings of best show evers. The last few shows.
Well, finally, you've learned how to edit.
I know.
But anyway, I also was listening more. I've been listening more, and I actually think this Case File True Crimes is I just happened to land on one of the more amazing podcasts because this guy does.
Is this Australian guy again?
Yes, because I was listening finally to My Favorite Murder because I love Karen Kilgariff
Sure.
and I enjoy it very much. And they're talking and having fun with each other, and they quoted. They do a thing about a murder. They each do a murder on their show, My Favorite Murder, and then they referenced the Case Files guy as being like, one of their main sources. And I was like, yes, Andy. I could have stumbled on somebody terrible. I guess I wouldn't have stayed with it. It was terrible.
Probably not.
But he goes on like an hour and a half with he has written his entire thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and what they do is amazing too. I couldn't do it. They're recalling
Preparing and things.
What?
Preparing and things like that.
And I couldn't, they have notes and everything. I don't even know how I would do something like that. Tell a very, very long story. But they have each other to bounce off of. I have nothing here. It's like a wall. It's
Son
like
of a bitch.
it's like if my co-host was just the mic without you.
You motherfucker.
I mean, seriously. Is your back hurting? Because my back is killing me from carrying you for all these years.
That's really rich.
I'll
You
give you a son of a... This could be one of the new bits that they like. That's very funny. I'll tear you limb from limb. Tear you limb from limb. Unbelievable. Now we're never going to have another podcast where I feel ready to shoot myself because I'm not listening and going off on head. It's all, I'm over the hump.
That's it.
I'm over the hump.
That's rear view mirror shit.
That's right. We're going to have live shows. They're going to sell out.
Yes. Oh God!
Please tell me there's a slight bump up in the in our listenership. No. Steady.
It's steady.
We're getting more feedback.
We're getting more feedback. We're getting enthusiastic feedback. We're getting nice letters. Everything's fine.
But why am I spending half of this podcast talking about how if this is going to be the thing that I want money eventually.
I understand.
I don't care about Showbiz Studio.
Okay, well, we're taking a big promotional step this week.
I know. Well, how big is the steps that we're taking?
It's big.
I saw my acting last night.
Did you?
I finally saw the I'm Dying Up Here where I was
But not
acting.
last night's, right?
No, because I had been behind on the show.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize I was even in this episode.
So you saw the massage scene?
Yes.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I was like, I really enjoyed it, and I still have, when you hear something, I'm sure any guys like this, if you hear anything that's at all off, you go, whatever, but that's not, so, anyway, it was, I think for some reason, people seeing me, getting rubbed down has been, like, they think I'm, like a versatile actor now.
Yeah.
Because I could act while being rubbed down.
Well, it's a step. It's a big step.
And Brett Garrett, oh my God, he's great. I really love him.
He's had a lot to do this season.
I know. Are we getting picked up, to your knowledge?
It seems like you'll get picked up.
You think so?
I do.
Well, hello. Recurring.
It's a weird show. It's a weird show because it's very soap operatic.
And those are my favorite parts of it in a way are the personal things. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, well, I mean, because the comedy stuff, it doesn't make good stories.
Not always, no.
But uneven scripts, but almost uniformly really good acting.
That's true. Why you say that almost uniformly?
You were within the realm of good acting.
Thank you. Yeah. And
I complimented you for that part weeks ago.
Yeah.
When I saw it.
But you're absolutely right, though, because and some of the, I mean, you have to give credit to some of the writing, too, because they're writing these different scenes, interpersonal relationships are very, very loaded and interesting. And some of those guys, like, I love the guy who's the kind of good-looking actor, a good-looking stand-up.
The junkie guy?
Yeah, was he a junkie? He's the guy who was on Carson, and then, but he had the affair with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really good. He's very good.
And I guess that's it until we get picked up. I guess that's it.
Do you have any more?
I did a ADR today.
For another of this?
Yeah, but and of course, in my head I was like, how did I not make the grade this time?
Right. I have an ADR session coming up in a couple of weeks.
They pay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might have done a flat
fee
all in on this one. But.
I did a thing to have a clean version. I told them to go fuck themselves was the original thing I said.
Yeah.
But for the clean on the air.
International version, yeah.
What do you think they said? Instead of, I told them to go fuck themselves.
Go screw yourselves.
Go take a hike.
Ouch.
That's really off, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess they wouldn't want screw yourself, right? If they're going to go away from it.
It seems like TV safe, but
I told them to go take.
I mean, when you look at the rest of the show.
Well, it's not going to be a show that plays well without the words.
Right.
Some of those shows, like you'll see Mean Streets or a movie like that.
Yeah.
With the cutouts.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Goodfellas is pretty funny when it broadcasts.
That's probably the best example of how crazy it is.
Yeah.
Especially when they go for some words in place of the curse words that are you can't stop thinking about it after a while. You mother cracker.
Yeah. It's really hard when you know the movie really well, too.
Yeah. It ruins it in a way.
It does.
I also don't I'm not a fan of Freakin'. He's freaking.
Yeah, freaking's no good.
Why did that get popular even?
Because it works. It matches lips pretty well.
Okay. But now people use it when they don't have to use it. You know what I'm saying? They could say fucking to me and they're like...
Yeah, but, sometimes you start with the F and have to make a quick left turn.
I'm TV clean. You know I'm TV clean, right?
I do.
So there's no reason to suspect it. You know, if nothing about me, I'm TV clean.
Yes.
Now, Showbiz...
And we soon will be, and apparently, as far as I know, I have been officially added to the cast of the horse movie.
Unbelievable. You told me this, and I'm so happy. Here's the thing with the fiddling horse. I don't believe I believe like being in a movie is like a dream of mine,
right.
And it could be you could have set this prank up for all I know.
Well, it's pretty good.
So far, it's pretty good. I love the guy who's doing the movie.
Right.
I love his attitude, but I won't believe it until I'm on the set.
No, he knows you're skittish because he said to me, I started doing all this stuff and then I had to go disappear onto an animation project. So, but he's acting like it's happening. So and now we're talking about it. So there's even more pressure on him to make it happen.
The thing is, I never thought he was I gotta make it. Maybe I should return an email. But I never thought he was a flake. I just thought he's like full of enthusiasm. But ultimately in show business, and until you know you're going somewhere, you shouldn't get that excited. Because I have made the mistake of getting too excited about things that didn't happen.
Well, when they put he's the one who also put you out there in the press as the star of the movie.
That was so good. I love that. That's the best. That's the best part because the movie hasn't happened yet.
Right, and everyone forgets the next day after the thing. But in their head, it's like, where did I see Andy? Oh, that's right, he's in a movie. That's all they need to say.
And you know how much cachet it has over appearing at Schmoople Dooples Comedy Club
this Friday.
Oh, the Rec Room. It's people here that I can't tell you how many people have said to me, "Oh, I heard about the movie.
Right.
Congratulations on the movie."
Right.
That's
all that has to happen.
That's all that has to happen.
Yeah,
I'm starting to see how this Trump thing could be a good thing.
Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it.
What was the name he would use as his own PR guy?
John Barron.
Yeah. Hey, no. Hey, I'm not Donald Trump.
He's a heck of a guy. I'd like to be Don Trump.
Oh, my God. This isn't funny anymore.
No.
It's not.
Of it. Not even us.
It's not even. No, it's not funny anymore, the thing in the country.
No. It's really fucked up. Insightful.
But did you. And then on I was tweeting about it, but like on CNN where they start to cover these stories that are started by the right wing, which is like, but we don't have to be incivil about it, and we don't have to heckle Sarah Sanders at a restaurant.
Right.
And then, it starts to creep up on every CNN show.
Yeah, no, that's been today's bullshit talk show theme is this the death of civility?
Yeah, because if you're a black person and you know that someone is a racist, you shouldn't have to be civil to them. If you want to be, you can.
Right, but it's all just because there's two two left-wing versions of unreasonableness or militantness in the news. So now it's my tweet was the news people waiting until this moment to ask, is civility dead? It's kind of like writing is the stock market risky article in mid 1930.
I got to retweet that. Retweet that for me. No, then it comes from you.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's like you know the guy who drives me crazy because I can't stand because I do like him when he is like does the New Year's Eve with whoever he does it with. But Anderson Cooper, when he's being himself, seems like a nice person. But I cannot stand the way he does news. He has a monotone, boring delivery, and he is right down the middle of the road with the usual questions, the usual suspects.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not upset about it anymore.
No, but the Ed Krasnick arm gestures were...
yes. I will be seeing Ed Krasnick. I'm going to be with Ed Krasnick on a podcast this week. Regan Burns, he has a podcast. And the problem is he wrote me into this podcast in Calabasas.
Wow, that's where I've been going for the whole hospice stuff.
How far is it? And of course, I take it back to myself. That's very sad that happened to you. How long is the drive? And what's the best time to go? No, I have to be there 1:30.
That's not a terrible time. Coming back, you'll hate yourself, but...
I hate myself regardless of whether I'm in a car. I'm kidding, by the way, about hating myself. It's my new shtick.
No, it's not. It's your old shtick.
It's the oldest shtick going. Look,
was that a lull?
If there's a lull here, blame yourself, pal.
That was like, but we jump on a lull after 2 seconds.
I noticed that, like, when I listened to Karen's podcast, the My Favorite Murder. Karen, don't waste your time on Ms. Little Andy Kindler at 16. Karen, can't you see, written on the loose leaf paper?
Yeah.
You need someone who will help you belong. You need someone who will help you. What rhymes with belong? Be strong.
Be wrong.
Be wrong. And I knew that was I did know it wasn't a great. No, I think when I wrote it, I thought it was an amazing song.
Of course you did.
But I think very quickly realized that wasn't good. And also, surprisingly enough, this song started to not be attractive to me. For sure. For sure. Do you want me to try and find For Sure?
Do I?
Those would be the best things to find. Well, I'll never find Karen because Karen was never.
Well, I think we have it. We have.
Oh, Karen. We have the versions of it.
Yeah, I mean, Karen's gotten more play than it ever. Karen's been heard by thousands of people.
She passed away last week. By the way. Oh! Karen. You know, that was never her name. Even at 16, I was savvy.
Yeah, of course.
Not her real name.
Also, the real girl's name, not very rhymey.
Karen. That's right. Karen. I didn't know.
Not that you rhymed Karen with anything.
I didn't know you would be barren.
What?
See? You go right for the sexual material. I'm not saying it's a great song, but I'm just saying you said there could be no rhymes with Karen, and I came right out with barren.
And here I am staring.
Oh, that's see, I don't like apostrophes. Listen to that. It sounds like I smoke Camel non-filters.
It does.
Doesn't it?
It does.
But I don't. But I've been, by the way, America should know.
Yeah.
And they can write in and weigh in. I am clean and sober, man. I haven't smoked pot since yesterday.
You are sharp in tracking as well.
You can tell, right?
Yes.
What does tracking mean?
You are tracking along with the conversation.
Oh, my God. So my whole life would have been better had I not smoked pot?
Just your behavior.
Just my behavior and my career.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be less embarrassed and further along, but...
But other than that...
Right. But you're...
Because whenever I smoke pot, I never want to...
You're slightly less bored.
But it
all evens out.
But it never makes you... Here's when it's not good. When I have a deadlines coming up. I have Montreal coming up.
Right.
Smoking weed doesn't make me want to dive into this material.
No, it's time to dive in.
I know. And I have actually prepared better for you this year.
Yeah.
I'm almost prepared.
Really? You're going to send me topics this year?
Well, not yet. But I'm about a week away from topics.
Will you send me words?
I'm a week away from sending you topics because I've been one thing I thought would be funny, and I know we won't have to do it all tonight, but I thought we could describe old shows that I talked about in the past and describe what they were. So, like, remember my name is Earl?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a show about TV writers who couldn't get anything sold, so they figured they'd come up with a gimmick about how a guy had to make a list of apologies. So that's what I'm doing with that joke. You have to take that concept and make it funny.
Not going to do it.
Whatever you were going to say, you were going to say not going to do it, right?
It's got a lot. No, I wouldn't say that. I'm just saying in this case.
You think
it's a flawed premise
because people won't remember?
Yes, you're counting on people remembering things. You're also recycling in a sort of obvious way.
Do you know what's weird is that I can tell in my mind that it probably won't work before going in, but I'm so excited about it.
It's too much like a desk bit.
I know those don't work as well.
No, you need, because if you stop and do anything that deliberately,
right,
you're going to be in trouble.
So I guess you're not excited about the lighter side of Me Too, of the Me Too movement.
Here's my new piece, column A,
column A,
column B.
Scenes we'd really like to see.
Yes. What does he really mean? Showbiz talk? Human talk.
Look at you. I've never seen you so animated.
No,
for 7 or 8
because I'm being you.
Oh, you're doing an impression of a person.
Once I'm a
who's
character,
involved.
I'm like, oof,
Commit to the bit. That was one of the lines from my episode of I'm Dying Up Here. Commit to the bit.
Right.
Now, I don't know why I stopped what we had. We had such a great roll going. No, we have had no lull. The only lull we had was us acknowledging. And that's what I noticed with Karen and her partner on her show. They don't seem to be as upset. I feel like if I'm not on early on, and I never was on the early shows.
Right.
That I would.
Well, I didn't mean to agree with you.
I know, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. They don't seem to be thinking. So I think the more you do the podcast, maybe that goes away, the thinking about what you're doing.
Maybe, since we're 60 shows in.
Well, it's always going to be, it's a different, do you use expressions like it's a different animal and then make people sick? It's a completely different animal, the podcast. You know?
Yeah.
It uses, how about this? It uses different muscles. Is that annoying?
That sounds more like me. That sounds more my brand of annoying.
Let me push back on that, Josh. Do you how many of those things do you hate? Push back. Let me give you the TikTok.
Yeah, they're all bad.
The optics. The first time I heard someone say this show needs more eyeballs, I was like, that cannot be an actual lingo from the business
industry term.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess you guys must know what you're talking about since you're able to isolate the eyeballs.
Right. We got a new guy in Cleveland, but it's a pirate, so we only got one eyeball.
And also, isn't it indicative of how they view their audience? We need more eyeballs.
Right.
We don't care what it is, just eyeballs.
We're creating memories here. Let's get some jellyfish.
Oh. I have to come up with a set, and that's another thing. It's been there's two things that you don't know about. One thing,
yeah.
I'm going to England in September for a week.
Oh, cool!
And
hopefully on a Tuesday.
You mean returning on a Monday?
Returning on Sunday would be good.
Oh, Sunday,
Tuesday
right.
through Sunday would be good.
And so I have to come up with a name of the show. So I'm thinking something like seeking something about asylum but I haven't gotten the funny version. But I have to write a capsule of the show, and then I have to come up with a set for Montreal. And these things are overwhelming to me. These are not hard tasks.
Yeah.
It's not like one of your tasks. I have to clear Proud Mary. What would be a song you couldn't clear? I have to clear
God Save the Queen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or I always thought Beatles songs were expensive.
They are.
And why is it that the Stones can't sue Trump? There must be a reason why they haven't sued Trump.
Because he just has to pay a BMI or ASCAP license for the venue he's playing those songs in.
Really?
Yeah. He just has to pay the license to use broadcast music in that venue.
Oh.
And that covers basically everything.
But that
so
wouldn't cover using
permission.
a song in a commercial, obviously.
Correct.
I see. Why? This is what happens if you have a smart friend.
Or someone who's had to clear music.
Well, I think...
But there's also we've played band gigs before at venues that don't pay that license, and they're like, you can't play covers.
Wow. Because they will find out. They do.
In cities like LA, they're going to have, they have representatives. Probably at the coffee shop we were playing, it wasn't a huge worry, but you never know because they get fined.
That's almost worse that you're overly worried about something in a small venue. It's almost worse.
Right. You wish that was a problem.
That is also,
but it is weird because they have I've played a couple of venues where they're like vehement about no covers.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that, but I have heard of like dentists. They've gone to dentist offices and places of business and got money from them, or I think they get around somehow now. I don't know how they do it.
Right.
But it used to be you're not supposed to play.
Andy.
What?
It's time to go to England.
Was I in the middle of an interesting story? So I'm going to England.
So you're doing what, a one-man show?
Yeah, well, it's just stand-up, but everything in Europe has to be named.
Okay.
And so I don't mind naming it.
Seeking asylum, not that kind.
That's it. That's it. Seeking asylum, not that kind. No, it's not going to be it. But not that Kindler. Don't get me started. But something that reflects the turmoil of the moment I wanted to do, and almost like I'm escaping over there. It's my asylum tour.
Andy Kindler, please take me in.
Please take me in. Please take me in tour. Now, here's the thing. This is the way you are. You're like, yeah. That's the tour now, asshole. You name it that, and you're on to the next thing.
No, I didn't think that, but I was pitching.
Please take me in. Please take me in tour. That's not bad. So I'm doing that, and I have to do a set for TV in Montreal. And what I have realized is that I have not been going to the clubs as much. And that's really, it's not like I think I'm going to lose how, my delivery, but I'm trying to put a set together, and I realize, oh, well, you haven't done 1 million gigs.
Right.
So, because I do a lot of, I don't want to brag, but I do a lot of these TV shows. I do want to brag. I do want to brag, but I don't want it to sound like bragging.
Sure. Okay.
I do a lot of TV shows in Canada. You can't repeat material. I've been doing TV sets there since 1995.
Right.
And I can't repeat material. Well, I wouldn't want to repeat a 1995 joke. But I keep thinking, did I? It's like I thought, did I do the, that's the kind of joke that makes you go, I wonder if Arsenio is still working. Boom, I did that.
Right.
Everything I've done.
So you need a new 7?
No, I need you to come up with 8 minutes, and don't kid around this time. Now, I think I have most of it. But in general...
I'm always around to spot weld.
Well, except for last year, when you were like, no, don't send me handwritten notes. Don't send me a bucket of handwritten notes in a baseball card box. And
I wish you sent me a bucket of notes.
I sent you something that was, I think, both explaining what I was doing and...
It was like a fucking Unabomber thing going on. It was just like, don't fucking send me this.
He had more focus than me. That's really not a good... That guy was on it, right? Yes. He never forgot. The Unabomber, interesting enough, he was not good at multi-bombing.
Huh?
Is there a joke there? Multi-bombing. I'm more of a unibomb. I've never been good at multi... Well, I used to have a joke. I'm not good at multitasking. I can't even unitask. So, you could... Unitask. So now Unabomber, the multi...
Bomber.
My God, I'm already sick of it. Unabomber.
But you were working it out on your card like a fucking chalkboard at MIT.
I haven't been following Dennis. I guess it's just boring to follow him after a while. But it's after what's to learn from his horrible tweets.
Well, we now get Dennis Miller news from our fans, which is nice. Our listeners.
That was very good, our listeners, and you did call them fans, and I think you should take that out because I call them I call them clients. I'm going to write that down.
Oh God,
I call them clients. Yeah, somebody said someone used it as a joke in one of the letters. They're saying, "Say hello to the whole family." Susan and Dennis Miller. Boom. Yes. People are developing our style, or maybe there are people who appreciate this. To me, it will never get old, me snoring. And the reason is because it at least stops me. Even if it gets old to the listener. What you need to know is that I didn't go down this ridiculously stupid road.
Sorry, I stopped listening.
Is that really what you were going to do? Really?
It wasn't like, no, I wasn't being snarky. I was being honest.
No. You were trying to do a bit too. You can't.
No, I really was just like, I can't get back on board. I got off the rails too early in this paragraph, and I just can't. I can't circle
now you know
back
how
to,
I feel.
To understand.
Now you know how someone who never listens feels.
I think I got a taste of it. It was a dark and ugly place.
It's dark and ugly because my wife's telling me something.
It was self-absorbed.
Yes.
It was horrible.
I know. And who would want to be with a person that like me? Except I don't want to say I'm good in bed because I'm not. Am I trying to construct the world's worst set right here? Is that what I'm trying to do in lieu of having material? I'm good in bed in a bad way. My grandfather used to say, "You're a good kid when you're sleeping."
Yeah, just mean.
He saw it as funny.
Yeah.
He was not my funny grandma. I had one grandfather who was really sweet, and another grandfather who was more of a complainer. But he was like my friend that I would argue with all the time.
Which one got your nose?
That was cousin Carl. Cousin Carl did a lot of those type of things.
Yeah.
He also brought over fireworks on the 4th of July.
That made him cool, Uncle Carl or Cousin Carl.
And he was Jewish.
Sure.
And actually like not Orthodox, but maybe conservative. And I'll never forget this joke he did about smoking. And he goes to Jesus, "Or you smoke? And how do you think I got the cross?" was the punchline of the joke. Because, okay, I should explain that in the old days you could get things by smoking. You could send in like box tops with cereal.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
So I left out of the joke the whole long build-up. Jesus, it's been a long time. And I don't know if it is. Why would Jesus have a cross?
Well, he had the big one that he had to carry through Jerusalem.
Right. But it had to have been after Jesus. I don't know. The joke doesn't work unless it's Paul. Well, now I know what you want to do now. You want to either take a break
or
power through to the letters.
No, we got to take a break.
Okay.
It's a new format. It's our format.
I didn't even know that. Oh, what do we got this week? I have nothing yet. So what do we got on the?
Here's what we'll do because it's just weird.
Hot luck.
This is a thing called a piece of eights. Not pieces of eight. No, more clever wordplay than that. And it is. We've talked, I think, before about how our friend Joel Hodgson and his brother Jim used to have this big thing yearly called Super Bowl.
Right.
Which was this huge sort of art party, for lack of a better description. Bunch of comedy people, a bunch of music people, a bunch of arty people, big sort of industrial park site. And they'd have everyone do sort of art projects for it, and we would do like music theme songs for it. So this was for the 8th Super Bowl. This was just me doing based on the number 8. It's kind of like a Sesame Street thing almost, but it's an entire piece of music comprised of different languaged words for the number 8.
Oh, beautiful! I'll take it.
Okay.
I don't even think you. I know what you're thinking. You over-introduced it.
Maybe.
No, you didn't, though. You didn't. Maybe the last sentence you should take out.
Yeah,
that's good. I'm looking forward to this.
Here's piece of 8s.
Wheat, wheat, wheat. 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 V-I-I-I. 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 Wheat, wheat. V-I-I-I. 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 Wheat, wheat. V-I-I-I. V-I-I-I. V-I-I-I.
V-I-I-I. V-I-I-I. V-I-I-I. V-I-I-I. V-I-I-I. V-I-I-I. Ocho. 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 Tweet, tweet, tweet. Ocho. 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 Tweet, tweet, tweet. Ocho. 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 Tweet, tweet, tweet. V-I-I-I. Ocho. V-I-I-I. Ocho. V-I-I-I. Ocho. V-I-I-I. Tweet, tweet. V-I-I-I. Ocho. V-I-I-I. Ocho. V-I-I-I. Ocho. V-I-I-I. Tweet, tweet. V-I-I-I. Ocho. V-I-I-I. Ocho. V-I-I-I. Ocho. Somebody say, wheat, wheat, wheat. Somebody sing, Ocho.
And that's why you couldn't release it, because of your Paul Simon reference at the end.
Right.
Who else would know that was from, is it Rhythm of the Saints or Graceland?
Graceland.
Wow.
I think a lot of people could.
They probably do.
Yeah, totally.
I love that. And I also was right about wheat, wheat, wheat. But then there was another 8. It's wheat is 8 in French.
There was wheat. There was ocho.
V-I-I-I.
There was V-I-I-I.
Oh, come on, that's...
There was ba and acht. Ba,
Right.
Ba'acht, which was ba is Chinese and acht was German.
Unbelievable.
There was shmona.
Yeah, you said that at the
coming
end.
in over the top at the end.
Shmona.
And then there was just it.
I love it. Now, did that get... I would think that would get a good reaction in the room.
It got a good reaction. It was they would make several people would make pieces of music and they'd put out an album for each party.
Oh, I see. So it wasn't like, well, they had, I did a version, I think you were there maybe. They turned this into I was never at the original ones, but then they turned it into
a thing called 20 Wonder, which was for,
right.
for trisomy.
Right.
Or Down syndrome.
Down syndrome.
More commonly.
And, I did a thing one year with Dave Alvin. Why do I have to ruin everything? But so back in those days, did they have presentations?
Yeah, there was performance stuff.
Yeah.
We did musical stuff.
Did people
there.
get high during those things?
It wasn't like the main. It wasn't
I know.
It wasn't a super potty thing. No.
No, it's unbelievable to me. You have a group of
There was
people.
booze,
Booze. That's the
but
thing.
it wasn't a potty.
Did you get boozy?
I'm sure I drank.
Yeah, I can't drink. It's so boring to me. It's over for me in drinking.
Yeah.
Except for this. On my birthday or my anniversary, the wife and I will walk up to our favorite restaurant, which you don't need to know the name of.
I do know the name of it.
And I'll have 2 cosmopolitan-type drinks. And I'll start to be drunk. And my go-to thing is to tell the waiter, hey, don't worry, I'm walking home. Love saying it every year.
Okay.
For some reason, think if I don't say it, they won't let me have the second drink.
Right. They're going to cut you off at 1.
And then that's it. And then me and the wife enjoy that. But otherwise, it's like wine. I want to be a wine guy.
Yeah.
What's your take?
I'm not a big wine drinker.
It makes you tired, doesn't it?
Not necessarily, but I find I don't drink that much wine, but when I drink really good wine, I go, oh, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Like if someone goes for a big, for a serious bottle of wine, I can always taste why this is a good wine.
As opposed to the $2 Chuck.
Yeah, or something,
Yeah.
A more pedestrian bottle. I'm not that interested in. But.
Well, I literally hate beer.
Do you? I like beer.
See, now I want to be a guy who likes beer.
Like a man.
Like a man, like an IPA.
Yeah.
But I can't stand it. It fills you up.
Yeah.
And then it's over. The party's over.
I've had very few beers in the last year and a half since I've been carb shunning.
So you don't drink it at all, probably, then. Do you guys drink as a couple? Or is it like Virginia Woolf?
Yeah. Allison just gets drunk and insults me.
That's my favorite movie. If you want to see a movie where a couple just goes after each other, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? That Edward Albee film that was based on a play is so great.
Yeah.
I hope I'm right about it being Edward Albee.
It is. Directed by?
It's not directed by the guy who gave names, right, to the communist thing.
No.
Who am I thinking about?
You're thinking of Elia Kazan.
Should I know who the Stanley Kramer?
Mike Nichols.
Oh, that makes total sense because and it is an intense movie, and I think it holds up very good.
Yeah, it's great.
But you know, a movie I couldn't watch was Giant.
No.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it, but I didn't retain it.
Did he make the only movie that he made that I loved? And I don't even know if I love it that much. I loved him. You can't not love him. But Rebel Without a Cause.
Okay, so you loved one of three.
What was the third one?
East of Eden?
Oh, I never saw it. Is East of Eden good?
Don't know. Never seen it.
But you have seen the one that the main one, which is Rebel Without a Cause.
Yes, I have.
Because it's got Mr. Magoo's in there.
Yes, it does.
He was so great.
Lovey, you should have really have a cause.
The kids today don't know. What was that from a charity? Gilligan?
Huh?
What was Gilligan? Was that?
That was Thurston the Howl of the Third.
Lovey.
Yeah.
Hello, Lovey. I can never do that.
I was pretending
voice.
he did that character in that movie.
You should really have a cause.
Is what I said.
Oh, that's hence the line that I didn't understand, which was you should really have a cause.
Yeah.
But they go after each other in that movie. After each other.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. What do I get out of plugging that movie?
He was tearing him apart.
Did you do a pun that I missed?
No, I think that was his line. You're tearing me apart. Isn't it?
Oh, God. And it's Joanne Woodward. No? Is it Joanne Woodward? No.
We suck at
Stop
this.
it. Would you shut up? I can't stop it. I can't fucking stop myself. I get into a boring jag. I can't stop it. I'm serious. If you don't stop it, it's not going to be stopped. It doesn't get better. Oh, you know what else is good? The cinematography in that movie's good. Have you seen the costumes? Is it with, no, it's with Elizabeth Taylor, isn't it?
What?
The
I don't
movie.
even remember.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Yes, it's Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor.
Right. I thought it was Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward, and that's where I went terribly wrong.
Gotcha. I thought you were still talking about Rebel Without a Cause.
Right. Let's go with that excuse.
All right. Should we go to some letters?
Absolutely.
Or some tweets, as the case may be?
Have you come up with a song for the tweets?
Yes.
Okay.
Tweets!
We have questions you can ask us.
No, I've been hearing with my mother-in-law and wife here in the same house for the week. I've been hearing the theme song for their family, which I wrote when I joined in my head all week.
That's so cool.
I wrote a little theme song for their family. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
It goes, tick, 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 tick.
So that's it, right? That's it. So it's very similar to my favorite honeymooners, where he sets the timer and he predicts that his mother-in-law will humiliate him.
It is similar to that. Okay.
I love lines that you have exiting a conversation that you have no interest in. When you go, similar to that. You had all you wanted to do was move on to the next subject.
Well, because I retain a certain awareness of things we've talked about in depth before, while
True.
things pass through you as if you were meditating for each show.
Oh, I don't bring it up because of any other reason than to know that I tell the same story in every podcast.
All right, I just,
Have I ever mentioned about how I started? All right.
Heath Gardner says, were there off-mic threats to Andy to stop saying rhombus space, or did he just get sick of it? Because I think of rhombus space with troubling frequency. Also, I'd like to hear more narcissistic comedy straight men bits.
What were those?
Exactly. You don't remember, show.
Narcissistic straight man.
We were talking about last week. We were talking about you posited that there's no such thing as a narcissistic straight man.
And then we decided that there was.
Of course there is.
But then after the podcast, you spent like 2 hours telling me why you hated Bud Abbott. I mean, I thought it was very, very odd. Bud Abbott, I'm convinced, was a nice guy. Just the way he said Lou. Lou?
You know, he lived about 6 blocks from here.
I love, this is, nobody.
There's a restaurant on Ventura Boulevard that was once his house.
Do I know the restaurant?
I don't know what it's called. It was once called Shane's. But
Chains?
Shane's. Like, Alan.
Shane. Like Shane. I love you, Shane.
Come back, Shane, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I love all these things because I used to live, but when Susan lived in Toluca Lake, we were very near the Bob Hope estate.
Sure.
And that was exciting.
Just knowing he's in there.
Yeah, and I also told you, I know I said this before, but I saw Renko. Renko from Hill Street Blues. Like he was tending to his lawn that he bought from all of his appearances on
A
Hill
character
Street Blues.
actor? Actually in public? Tending to his lawn? Oh, my God.
Well, but then he became he did a lot, I think he did a lot of directing.
Right, but
I'm
just saying he's not a big enough star for him watering his lawn to be a good story.
Oh, he's a big enough star of when I used to think that anybody I saw on TV was rich.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on. Renko was a series lead on that show.
He was an ensemble cast.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I wonder how much they made. We can find it out. But
probably.
But they were an ensemble back in the. I'm sure they didn't. They were the most popular show on TV.
Yeah, but when you sign up for a cast like that, you basically have your first few, at least, seasons salary determined.
Not Andy
for
Kindler.
That very reason.
I won't sign anything like that.
That's why you aren't on the show.
Actually, on Last Comic Standing.
But Charles Hayde, I don't know what his net worth would be.
I can't believe it. You know his name.
Yeah, I watched.
He's a sweetheart too. I don't know why I say that. I went on audition once.
Yeah,
and he was there.
Yeah,
and I said I can't stop thinking about the show, and nobody cared. The most embarrassing audition I was on was not Michael McKean. Who was the Christopher Guest?
Yeah,
because he's not the warmest guy in the world when you audition for him.
No, I don't think he's the warmest guy in the world in any situation.
Right, and this was during the days when I would say, in lieu of showing you that I might have some acting ability, in lieu of that, let me do this whole song and dance, jokey guy.
All right.
And so that you know that I'm funny, but you'll never cast me. That's what I was doing in those days. So I would come in, and I tried to be funny or whatever, and Eugene Levy laughed. He had a light laugh. He could tell I was a comic.
Right.
But I got nothing from Christopher Guest. I don't think I was in the movie eventually. Was I in
Best of Show?
Best of Show, for example?
Unless you were in a dog costume, I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, on the 8th. Miller on the 8th.
Peruche.
Miller on the Ochos.
Ocho.
Hijo. Have you sung that song in a while?
Hijo. Oh, Bitesco head. A man he ain't so hard to understand. Hijo. If you try now, I know that he can lend a helping hand. You know there's good in everyone. You know the new day has begun. You can see the morning sun if you try. Dado. It'll be better. Oh, yes, they will, for he go hand the man. Oh, yes, they will, for he go hand the man. Even though it's funny, he don't understand. You know, he be power, basuna, Los Angeles,
Is that the bridge?
It goes big.
Are you serious? There's more to that
There's
song?
a whole single.
Who wrote
There's a whole single.
Jose Feliciano.
As far as I know,
Such a
Jose
moron.
Feliciano wrote.
Who wrote that Jose Feliciano? I told you this a long time ago that Lou Diamond Phillips did not write La Bamba, but you wouldn't believe me. That's how I first became acquainted with Los Lobos, who is one of my favorite bands.
They're good.
Yeah.
Last night, I got loaded on a bottle of wine.
David Hidalgo has a fantastic voice.
Unlike myself.
That's what I said.
So Peruche says, I think Test Show 59 was the best test show of all time.
Whoa.
All the perfect thought spiral ingredients in place. Tough to top. Well, shall we call it a night then?
Well, this could top it only because I'm sober through the entire show.
Wow, so that's true.
And am I still tracking?
Still
so my
tracking.
energy is not flagged.
No.
So the one time we thought it'd be hilarious if we actually got high on the show.
That one time. Wink.
No, but I mean like where we actually it'll be funny for them to hear me. It just never worked out.
No.
No.
It's not worth the slippage.
I'm a failure.
No.
What?
You were stoned last week in the second half, and boom, best show ever, says Perush.
But I was dragging myself over the finish line.
You were dragging the whole show, but somehow it magically made Perush's top 1.
Well, no, because I think Perush is sensing that I started out hot.
Nah.
I came out of the chute.
No, the previous week you did. Last week I commented on how you seemed tired coming out of the gate.
No fantastic.
But it's
Lucky. There was no Lucky.
There was some magic.
Inserts?
There was some Lucky stuff. Yeah.
But Lucky really does like me more than any other person that comes to the house, right?
Lucky helped my mother-in-law get through a tough week.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah. Greg Kelly says, what 60 Minutes correspondent had the best fashion sense? I always like Morley Safer.
I can't. The only one who I think was stylish was none of them were stylish.
Ed Bradley.
Ed Bradley.
He sported the earring there.
He what?
He sported the earring, at least.
And he had the absolute funniest thing I've ever seen in my life is with Muhammad Ali. You remember that thing where he's interviewing Muhammad Ali and they arranged a prank on him where she was saying, oh, he sometimes, because of the Parkinson's, he will fall asleep and then he'll sometimes start punching. He starts punching Ed Bradley and he totally buys it and then they all laugh.
Oh, okay.
I know that I didn't describe well, but it is, have you seen that?
I vaguely remember that,
so good.
but I don't.
I miss Ed Bradley.
Yeah, it was sad.
Why do people die?
Read the book.
What's the book? Death and Dying?
It was a Dianetics ad.
Read the book. God, you can't read that book.
Michelle Wisecarver.
Hi, Michelle Wisecarver.
No question this week, gentlemen. Oh, okay.
All right.
Just wanted to tell you again that you're both awesome. Test Show 59 had me cry laughing.
She did a very nice thing there. At first we were like, what's the question? And then she's like, no question. But boom, zingo, zango, zubo with the compliment. I don't know what's wrong with you. Thank you, Michelle.
Joan Tuesday. Hey, Josh, did you cross paths with Sam Gritner at all in Minneapolis? No. Just heard his interview on the hilarious world of depression. Did you find anything specific about Minneapolis depressing at all? Maybe the weather. No, not. I mean, the weather can be depressing. Long-ass winters, and that people do get seasonal affective disorder there. But the thing, the thing that's a little depressing about it is just the Nordic Lutheran emotional police state that it kind of was when I was growing up. It's much more diverse now.
You mean culturally?
Just culturally, it was a very polite but very shut down people. Very
wow. But it's always been a center of theater and stuff, or is that more recent?
I don't know that it's always been, but in the last 50 years it has been,
Yeah, and excellent. I always think of excellent design when I go to Minneapolis.
Yeah, it's a great city. I mean, culturally, it's a great city. It's really supportive of the arts now, and people are very polite.
Right.
And that's part of, I think, the politeness is they make such good audience members there.
That's true.
Because they're very polite and they don't have an ego that says that should be me.
No, that's true. And then also the only thing I notice is that sometimes they don't get what I'm talking about, but not, when I'm talking, this is like very complex bits.
Right.
Oh, no. Sometimes that's not what I meant to say. Their politeness sometimes they will be more frightened of a topic if it sounds edgy sometimes. Or
they might feel pity for you.
That's
a little
sure.
Quick.
That's for self-deprecation.
They might pull the pity trigger a little quickly.
Oh, it must be so sad.
Right. Nick Kosei, Thought Spiral is my favorite podcast. I will always cherish the time I got to see Andy live at the Club Regent debate about pens versus pencils.
Oh.
I hope to see you be able to perform in the future, Mr. Weinstein. You're always welcome in my office. Mr. Weinstein! Mm-hmm.
He must be is he from Edmonton? Or he's from a city in Canada that I did a CBC debaters. Maybe Vancouver? No.
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. God damn it.
All right.
Thank you. Nice to hear from you. I actually love Winnipeg, and they have great food there.
I don't like Winnipeg. I had a bad road week in Winnipeg once.
Isn't that where Neil Young's from? Or spent time there?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's where I saw the Crash Test Dummies before they were. I saw them in a little bar up there.
Are they the one who had the escalator or the?
Once there was this kid who got into an accident and couldn't come to school, but where? Them?
I don't know, but it's not the one where they had they were on a Stairmaster. There was
no. That's OK Go.
Okay,
yeah.
I love that video.
Yeah, they've made a dozen really cool videos.
OK Go.
Yeah.
And how about Crash
Get
Test?
stoned and go on YouTube and put OK Go in, and you'll see several very good videos.
Oh God, the first one they did was amazing. Now, is Crash Test Dummies? Will I like them or we don't know?
It's not worth going back for them.
Yeah. They listened to the show.
They had a couple of great albums and then fell off a quality cliff, as far as I was concerned. Callan Holder. Just watching Breaking Bad for the first time. Have you watched it? And if so, does Hank make it? Very concerned right now. Yes, I have watched it. And no, I won't tell you.
I won't tell you, but the end of the show does involve multi-level marketing. He gets into multi-level. He gets into something like Shackley.
And things start breaking better.
They start breaking better. He turns his frown. I love that show.
Great show.
And I also love the follow-up show, but I just haven't watched it as much. I'm halfway through the first year. I love it. It's got Michael McKean and Bob. I love Bob Odenkirk as an actor and as a comedian. And what am I trying to do? What am I trying to get a job?
Better call Andy. Scott Patterson wants to know, how long did it take to get used to the sound of your own voice? I'm 40 and still cringe every time I hear myself on video.
I don't think it. I don't cringe from my own voice, but I don't
singing.
Oh, ridiculous! No. I have a follow-up story to that because I was in the supermarket and I've told myself when I'm not with my wife that I'll sing more. Like as I'm going down the aisle. It's not so loud to be annoying. But I was singing an Adele song, and I was in a line singing an Adele song, and the woman was, I like that performance. It was the first time anyone ever said anything that could even say that it sounded good.
So you're standing in a line at a store singing an Adele song long and loud enough.
But this is what bothers Susan. This is what bothers Susan.
No, that would bother me too, just for the record.
She doesn't like it in any context. I mean like when I'm shopping around.
Yeah.
And I'm alone.
Yes.
But then eventually somebody hears
like
me.
a crazy person is what you're saying.
The woman at the thing thought it was lovely.
Sure.
I should probably reserve
she
it.
thought you might be dangerous.
That's true. So maybe I should do it on do it somewhere else. Take my singing outside. But I know this. A lot of people don't like to hear their voice back. Do you? What
no, it bothers me every week. I hate things about my voice or me or my character or my everything.
I think it would be unusual if you were really.
I don't find it paralyzing.
What's that?
I don't find it paralyzing because I'm 30 years in. But
yeah, but you don't say, "Oh my God, that guy could have been the Inner World guy."
Yeah, no, I'm not that happy with myself a lot of the time. It may seem like I am, but
well, I get that way if I see like old sets or something, old stand-up or something.
Yeah, old stand-up is hard to stomach because you're always at your best now.
And you're fevered.
Yeah.
Right, that's true. And there was a time when I was clearly bad.
Will Pfeiffer, what are the best books about comedy, history, biography, whatever? Thanks. Let's see. There's several.
Philip Berger's book is excellent.
Is that
Philip Berger is from a long time ago, and he wrote about Joe Ansis, and he wrote about Lenny Bruce.
Okay.
Does it ring a bell? Oh, what's the name of that book? Philip Berger is the author, and it's like one of the first in-depth things I really liked.
Cliff Nesteroff's book is good. The Comedians, I think it's called.
Yes.
As a sort of overview of stand-up in the 20th century. Gets a little shaky around the 80s.
Because of the information? Or?
Yeah, the information isn't all solid. And Steve Martin, Born Standing Up.
I love that book.
Is a great book about just what coming into your own comedy voice is.
And also, I'll never forget that he smoked pot or something, and he had a horrible reaction to it.
Yeah.
And he freaked out. So I remember that. And also it was great to hear about not the Magic, what was it down in Knott's Berry Farm, maybe? Was that where he started?
Yeah.
I love to hear anything about California back in the old days,
Right.
And it was very funny and interesting.
Yeah, great book. What else? Do you remember when that book Comic Lives in the 80s that Betsy Bourne?
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of an interesting snapshot of like where
That was good.
Like what stand-up kind of had come. It was like 87 that book came out, so it was like all the people who had sort of risen to the top of the club world.
Right. I got to read that again.
Belzer and Carol Leifer and that generation of people.
Yeah. And then what's the one about the writers? It's like, and the kicker is, or there's one that like examines several comedy writers. That's very good.
I'm not sure. A good thing about the sort of current comedy book is actually the Mark Maron. I'm not just kissing up, but the Mark Maron collection of excerpts. It's basically excerpts from his show.
Oh, from his show. Okay,
but it gives you. It's a nice overview of sort of the current sort of state of mind of comics and how fucking crazy we are, and how,
he captured that,
and how much talking about that is part of the culture of comedy now too.
And that show introduced that, and then it had was it Gallagher who walked? Was it Gallagher who walked out?
Yeah,
because I remember him going, "Come on, Gallagher."
Yeah. The one I'm Dying Up Here is a good book.
Yes,
about the
William Canale-Sater
about the
excellent book.
70s scene and the strike at the Comedy Store.
It's not like the show.
It is not really like the show.
It's not really like the show, but that is. I'm glad you said that because that's an excellent book. And there's one by Zoglin. I think is pretty good. Like Life on the Edge, like Comics on the Edge. Richard Zoglin. Don't look at me like I'm sick. No, but it's like it was about like the 50s comics and Mort Saul and On the Edge, I think it's called. Comics on the Edge.
Yeah, now I was actually trying to think of Tony Hendra's book about the 70s lampoony Saturday Night Live People.
Oh. I want to read that.
That's good.
Who is he? Is he from Saturday Night Live?
No. He was more of a lampoon guy.
Right. Okay.
He was he was in Spinal Tap. He was the manager with the cricket paddle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's he's hilarious. When he has to bargain with the local Hebrews.
Right.
Well, I didn't think she would be. When they find out they want her to be the manager, I didn't think that she would be the manager.
His book was called Going Too Far.
Ah.
So that's a bunch of books.
That's a bunch of books to get you started. And then I always think anything Mort Saul wrote or Steve Allen. Steve Allen's Mysteries. He did write mysteries,
Yeah, I know. He wrote
I love that.
A bajillion books. And bajillion songs, yes.
This could be the start of something big, but not catchy.
Right.
Do you like that song?
No.
All right.
Sorry?
Sorry says, I knew someone named Sorry. S-A-R-I.
Interesting.
I'm choking, Josh. Heimlich me.
Guy Incognito says,
I love that name.
Could we please hear Dennis Miller snarking his way through What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding? Thanks. As I walk through this wicked world, searching for light in the darkness of insanity, and I'm talking dark. It's so dark, Silver Surfer couldn't see his hand in front of his face. It's so dark. I ask myself, is all hope lost? Is there just pain and hatred and misery? Well, I'm feeling misery. I'm back on a fucking podcast, Choochie.
Cha-cha.
Cha-cha.
What's so funny about?
What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? I'm really asking. I don't know what the fuck is funny anymore.
This is what he does. Oh, yeah, that's right. He doesn't know what it's funny. That's what he's doing. He's exploring. He's doing an impression of a man who's lost it, is what Dennis Miller's doing now, right?
And each time I feel it slipping away, just makes me want to sigh. What's so funny about peace, love, and
well, how did a guy like that end up to be? Who knows? But I can't understand anybody who pursues the right wing as a career.
I can't either.
This is terrible. I can't think of. I know you love PJ O'Rourke, but still.
Pixie Sassafras.
That doesn't sound like her real name.
Or his.
Or
Who
his.
knows?
I thought Pixie was feminine. Andy, you would think that as a cis. Do you know what a cisgender is?
Yes.
I don't know any of those words.
You're a cis male.
Oh, that's how I was born.
Yeah. What new comics are you most excited about? I don't know if they mean comedians or comic books in that
Well,
context.
I did read Michael Cooperman's book. Didn't you tell me about that?
Yes.
It was excellent.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it really kind of made me. It made me actually relate. Not like that was my father, but the whole idea of trying to communicate with people who you love. It just was so great. It was really interesting.
Figuring out where they broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, of course, it's like he didn't, I can't say, well, he had a great premise, but he did have an amazing premise that just was real life. His father was.
Yeah, no, there was genuinely interesting history to be learned as you were getting their story.
I wanted to ask my mom about if she remembered the Quiz Kids, but I didn't ask her.
I bet she does.
Yeah. Sometimes when people get older, they don't remember everything like that. And sometimes they do.
So Michael Kupperman's All the Answers.
I think it's Cooper. Is it Kupperman?
I don't know. I've never heard it
Michael,
said.
is it Cooperman or Kupperman? Shout out to Michael Kupperman. I say Cooperman. Here's what I say. I say something thinking it's something. I never check with anybody.
It's Kupper.
Hey, babe. Cooperman, babe.
I think it's Kupperman.
It's Kupperman, All the Answers.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Seth Dick the Third. If there were 60 ways to leave your lover and not just 50, what might the other 10 be? Now, this happens to be a bone of contention between me and Paul Simon.
Okay, why?
Because never has a song overpromised and underdelivered more than 50 ways to leave your lover.
There must be.
There must be 50. I'm going to name 5.
And that's
it. I'm not going to even attempt to do more than that. I am just going to sustain the premise that there are 50 ways, but I'm not only going to say 5 once, I'm going to repeat them a few times.
Get out the back. Oh, that's right. He could have switched it up.
Yeah.
Get out the back. Get off the jack back. Get back off the jack back. Learn a new scam, lamb. It's got to be Scooby-Doo. I can't think of any.
Wow, you can't.
Wait.
Hop on the bus, Gus.
Hop on the bus, Gus.
Don't need to be coy, Roy.
You don't need to be coy to Roy.
Which isn't even,
that's not even a thing.
It's not even, not being coy isn't really a way to leave your life, but I'll give him that one. Make a new plan, Stan. Hop on the bus, Gus. Don't need to be coy, Roy. Slip out the back, Jack. Make a new plan, Stan. That's
it.
That is the 5 ways to leave your lover.
I'm a huge Paul Simon fan, but I would not say that if I was on my desert island.
Like, why wouldn't you just sit down with a fucking notebook and list some more?
Because he's very. It's a song that I would call.
Too bad you can't shoot her, Scooter.
That's right. Hey, leave her in the middle. Walk out to get. This has happened from people I've heard. Walk out and get a pack of cigarettes. Never return. Bobby. Kill your wife. Kill your wife's sister. Steal her money and go to Canada. Stan. Bobby.
Stanada.
Hey.
It has to rhyme.
Irving. I'm not going to stay in a marriage where I'm being emotionally abused. Please leave.
Steve.
Please leave, Steve. Please leave, Steve. Get out of here.
Tell her you're leaving, Steven.
Tell her you're leaving, Steven. Hey. Get the hell out of my apartment, Marvin. It's not one of his best songs, and I still like it. The problem is, wait a second. The problem is all inside your head, she said to me. That's probably some of the other ways.
Huh? No.
No, it's not you, it's me. That's another way, he's saying. The problem is all inside your head, she said to me.
Right. The answer is easy if you take it logically.
I don't like that.
I'd like to help you.
Okay,
I can't even to be free.
I refuse to defend this song. Did I tell you that the Graceland did not get? I just heard this on NPR. It didn't get popular. I don't know how popular it ever really got, but until the video.
You can call me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was excellent. Makes you, when Chevy Chase, he's so likable in a way when you watch him in the early days and everything. It's so hard to imagine that he is such a terrible, my experience with him was he was a terrible human when I did the roast that I was cut out of.
Yeah. That's weird because you hear mostly good stories about him.
See, I'm here to show you the other side.
Terry Caulfield wants to know, how do you both say GIF? With the G or the J?
I say GIF.
I say GIF.
It's probably GIF, right?
According to the guy who invented it, says it's GIF.
It's graphic interface?
I don't know.
Oh. Wow.
Graphic interface file, maybe.
I just got into Vine. It's pretty hot, right?
Wow. But I say GIF, but only because I was taught to say GIF instead of GIF.
I'll say it's GIF.
I said GIF for many years.
I said GIF, and I'll probably go back to saying it because I don't retain the information.
True. A.D. Morgan, a rewrite of the being shut in the hole scene where Steve McQueen takes a 5-iron and a golf ball, not a baseball.
Do you know what he's talking about?
The
Great Escape?
Talking about The Great Escape and the scene where he's bouncing the baseball. But
I haven't seen. Is that the movie with dum boom 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 schmeekity schmeekity do wankadank do boom 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 bang bang? Isn't that the music for The Great
Escape? That's the Hogan's Heroes theme that you're doing. Same ballpark.
Da, 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 da. Who was your favorite? Kinchlow? I like the guy who was French.
LeBeau.
It's unbelievable that I am a Jewish person and love that show and never connected it when I was watching it to the Holocaust.
No, well, why would you?
And I love Schultz. If a lot of the Germans were like Werner Klemperer, they were a bunch of knuckleheads.
That wasn't Werner Klemperer. Colonel Klemperer was Colonel Klenk.
Right, and who was Schultz? Was
John
great.
Banner, I believe.
You are amazing. You probably could pull Ken Berry out of your ass.
No, but Robert Clary comes out nice and easy.
Yes!
Richard Dawson pops right out of my nasal canal.
I can't think of one other. There was like a skinny guy.
Larry Hovis.
Yes! Where was he later on other shows, right?
Liars Club. He was on a lot.
Oh, God. It is really depressing how much you know about stuff that's my age.
But what was cool about, the nice thing about Hogan's Heroes is like you could play act Hogan's Heroes so easily because it was a bed. Like the bed was like a major prop. The one that, the bunk would go up.
And and they look
so
around.
Like you could actually pretend Hogan's Heroes in your bedroom.
Oh, I didn't do that. That sounds like something you should have had therapy for. That's sick.
Yeah.
There's certain things that I accept, and there's certain things I say is sick.
Yeah, which is this again?
Why am I bad at trying to make you feel bad?
I don't know.
Put that in with the hopper.
It's nice to have a hobby.
So what? Joe Madison told me that joke.
Yeah, it's just a hobby.
Yeah. I collect weeds. Don't do it?
No.
When's he going to be on the show?
He'll be at the live show.
Ooh, are we going to shout out to him, or we don't know?
I don't know.
He may come up on stage.
I think he kind of likes the running gag of never doing his guest spot either. But
no, come on, that guy. He, as they say in the old days, he'd go to an opening of an envelope.
Tukey's Bookie, or if we want to go really rhymey, Tukey's Bookie.
Tukey's Bookie.
Which is worse, the doctor or the dentist?
The dentist is the worst. If it's going to be bad.
I don't know.
But you've had doctors.
I was about to say, I've had a dentist tell me I had a cavity. I've had a doctor tell me I have to take your kidney out of cancer. So the dentist isn't that bad, really.
Right, but did you feel the kidney coming out? No, you were out like a lot.
I felt the results of it for some time, yeah.
I can't believe a friend like me wouldn't have visited you in the hospital.
I couldn't believe it either, but,
How did it not happen? Let's not get into it because she'll get very upset.
You did call me.
I did call you, but I called you to ask you to write material for my for a roast I was doing. I don't think I was aware of
4 years ago was. Oh no, that was when I was in the second operation. The cancer was actually in January. So.
But, the first operation was actually annoying, right?
The first operation was the kidney. The second operation was the colon.
Oh, okay, got it.
But,
the colon was supposed to be first.
So the colon was what sent me into the hospital.
Right.
For about
You'll go for the
10
colon.
days. And when I was in for the colon, they discovered the kidney thing, basically.
Wow.
But I had to recover from the colon thing, get the kidney surgery, then recover from the kidney surgery to get the colon surgery.
Had they not discovered it, it wouldn't have been good because you don't have symptoms.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
I'm just reminding you.
No podcast.
I can't imagine. Is that what we do in our It's a Wonderful Life?
That's right.
Imagine a world without you, Josh.
Merry Christmas, you old discarded kidney.
Merry Christmas, you old savings and loan.
Merry Christmas, you mononephrotic son of a bitch.
Who's one of the guys? You can do the voices of one of the people who give them money at the end, isn't there? The brother that comes back from the Navy.
Yeehaw, George.
He was great.
To my brother, the richest man I know, George Bailey.
He was really good, Frank Capra, at adding those little details to movies.
Yeah, do you know who is like Alfalfa's in there at the dance?
Oh.
Yeah, a little cameo.
I'm trying to think. Alfalfa was older?
Yeah.
That's
So he goes, hey, why don't you go over there and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, hey, okay, hey.
I didn't realize. Did he die or something in Alfalfa or something?
Oh, eventually.
But did he die in a bad way or something? Or he got shot? Or just one of those terrible stories that's not true.
Alfalfa fire.
I'm in the mood for love.
Perush points out that it's Ricky Gervais's birthday.
Happy
Thoughts?
birthday. Is it today?
Today is recording day, yeah.
It's on the recording day. I can't even believe we would schedule a shoot.
I know.
That's the thing that bothers me.
My only thought is that he's 10 years older than me.
Ricky, and he hates aging. I know that he hates aging. He hates aging, and he hates if he gains weight, it makes him hate everybody else. He takes it down on everybody else.
Yes.
And calls himself miserable. I'm done with him. I really am.
Fair. He's banned.
No, I mean, I'm done. I'm not interested in talking about it.
No, it's banned. Stephen Elton Yates.
Oh, you mean it's banned like Woody Allen? Bow!
Stephen Elton Yates. Guys, do you have a least favorite genre of music? If so, what is it? I really don't like opera.
I always say I don't understand enough about opera to dislike it.
That's why I don't like it. I don't understand. I don't like not understanding the words.
Right.
And I don't like no hook. And I don't like that presentation of the human voice even that much.
I think sometimes I've gotten it when it's the right thing, but I've never gone to a whole opera. I would say Dixieland jazz I hate.
Really?
Yeah, like the Scott Joplin type
like
stuff.
The Woody Allen kind of music?
Now, that's one thing you won't get an argument with me. I'm not going to defend his clarinet playing.
All right. I think he's a great clarinet player.
What? You have confused me. Do you like that Dixieland?
You know what? My dad was a huge Dixieland fan, so I have a warm. I don't love it, but I do have a real warm sort of feeling about it.
How about barbershop quartet music?
No, although I just played an a cappella thing earlier in the show, so I can't really go hard against it.
And the documentary about them that's very funny, very good.
About barbershop quartets?
Yeah, I don't know the name, but it's really good.
Okay,
came out a couple of years ago.
I think we've come to the end.
You know what? This was unbelievable. You know what I say? Leave them one. I've done this joke for years, and my wife told me I can't do it anymore. But I have always said, leave them wanting more humor.
Huh.
And I think it's great. I think it's still funny after all these years. I met my old lover on the street last night. Is that the way he sings it?
Different
Josh,
song.
I think if we don't end the show like in 5 or 10 minutes, I make it worse.
I think
it could be worse.
You know what they call this, Andy?
What's that?
Diminishing returns.
What do they call that when they say that? It's a process of. It's a matter of. It's a example of diminishing returns. It's the prime example of diminishing returns. What do they say?
I don't know. We're living it.
No, that's not true. I want to do this diminishing returns bit so much longer till it gets funny.
Okay.
Again,
I think that's how it works.
Yeah, but we don't have the energy for these long bits.
Oh, God, no.
Do you have anything to plug?
I do. I'll start at home with give us a write during the week at thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com.
Start with your own backyard.
That's right. We answer an incredibly high percentage of our emails.
How many do you answer? You answer
way the fuck more than you.
Oh my God! Do you feel superior somehow to me in many ways?
No, I feel put upon, and I feel an injustice being done.
No. Keep it light. It's the podcast.
Oh, okay.
After the podcast.
Oh, okay.
A grave injustice.
Check us out on Twitter at Thought Spiral. Check our merch out at, what is it, Andy?
Zazzle.
At Zazzle.com.
You know what? When we come up with a new line of stuff, I'm going to be very excited about it.
Okay.
This is what you told me not to do, right? Badmouth the merch.
So, Andy, what are you going to do this week?
I am going to... Oh, that's right. I got to plug things. It's nothing to plug. If you can hear this before it's released... Come down to the rec room. If not, are we teasing the live show too early?
No. Well, the live show's coming right up at the Improv Lab on July 10th. Go to our Twitter page. At the pinned to the top of the column is our ticket link to the Improv Lab. I don't check those sorts of things.
Yeah. My friend Todd Barry, who you know as well, he used to do brown paper tickets or brown paper bag.
Yeah.
And he would check like 15 times a day.
Yeah. Well, this is the Improv. It's their job. It's their job to never have us again.
Yeah. We're going to start to get very cocky after our first show.
But please come.
Please.
If you live here, please come.
Even if you don't live here.
Yeah. A couple of people have claimed they're flying in.
I don't believe that.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm going to miss you, Josh. Where am I going?
I don't know. We're going to see each other in 2 days.
Oh, okay. All right. So then maybe we should, why are we belaboring it?